Hello everyone, and welcome to Tournament 22 of Irish Warrior. Last tournament we moved to Halo Infinite, and we saw a lot of success. 17 Stage 1 clears and 6 Stage 2 clears, but nobody could figure out the new obstacles of Stage 3. Will somebody be able to do it today, and maybe even achieve total victory? Let's find out right now. The first stage has had quite a few changes made to it. We'll see how our competitors adapt. It all starts with the step pillar as it did last time. Came back in the last tournament, jump your way across the 5 steps and the pole to get to the other side. And then you climb the giant ramp to take on the new second obstacle, the circle hammer. Jump your way into the first rope, and then you pick your side, jump back into the middle, and then make the big dismount. And then it's the diamond back, 3 diamonds that you gotta work your way across. You know it by now. Make the big dismount, and then you're on to the new dancing stones. This is a very difficult obstacle. There are 8 balls that you got to work your way across. They're all at different heights and distances. So it's going to be a tough obstacle. You really got to have control of your distance. And then it's the wire bridge. 7 wires to jump across. The wires get slimmer as you go, and those last couple of jumps are very big. And then it's the escape wall. It has been made slightly taller, but the concept is still the same. Just get into that mongoose, and then you take on the new triple hurdle. 3 antennas and 3 logs that you gotta work your way across, make the big jumps, and then get onto the cargo climb to the top, and then you hit the buzzer. And if you can do it within 1 minute and 50 seconds, you move on to the second stage. So we'll see how our competitors handle this first stage. We have 50 taking it on like usual, and the first to go will be August Halo 1. August is a big fan of Halo jumping. He's finally getting his chance on Irish Warrior. He is off on the step pillar for his 110 seconds. Stops on that 5th step perfectly fine and makes the dismount. And he will climb the ramp, and he'll be the first competitor to take on the circle hammer. He will choose the right side. He'll go right for that second rope, and then back to the left into the center for the dismount, and he has made it. And now 83 seconds left as he takes on the Diamondback. Go for that right side on the second one. He's there. Now this jump to the third is a little farther. August doesn't get a sprint going, and he comes up short. August Halo 1 out on the Diamondback. And now we move on to number 2, LOL Blue Tides. He is a competitor coming over from Roblox. We've seen a few competitors make the transition with the Halo Infinite now being on PC. Blue Tides is the newest person to do so as he takes on the Roblox first obstacle, the step pillar. As he's on the 3rd step, setting up for the jump to the 4th, and he comes up short. A bit of an unfortunate debut performance for Blue Tides. He is out on the step pillar. But now it's Bowsy Pie at number 3. Another Roblox competitor who has decided to take on Halo jumping. See how he handles his first time on Irish Warrior. He does well to get through the first obstacle. He's avenged Blue Tides, and now he is on to the circle hammer. He will also choose that right side, make it onto the second rope, and the 3rd. Now going for that dismount, and he is across. And now we'll see if he can figure out what August Halo could not, the Diamondback. And it looks like he's going to stand that right side. Oh, he almost came up short of that 3rd diamond, but he has made it, and he gets the dismount across. And now he's got 70 seconds as he takes on the dancing stones, as he jumps down to the 3rd, up to the 4th, down to the 5th, and he slips off the 5th ball. I think he could have made that with a save jump, but he has come up short there. And now we have Tens Heaven at number 4. Sure, that works. And he completely shanks the jump from 1 to 2 on the step pillar. Number 5, we have Scorpio with an X868. And that looked like an instant replay of Tens Heaven. Basically was the exact same run. Alright, number 6, we have Noob. Seems like a weird gamer tag, but this is actually Ecardis, or Nice Cat versus Xbox. We saw him back in the day on the MCC, run Smokey's course a lot, so we'll see how he does here. He's kind of returned to the jumping scene, so we'll see what he can do. Noob moving smoothly through the step pillar, not at the fastest pace, but he is through. And now climbing up top, getting ready for the circle hammer. And he cannot make it onto the first rope. He didn't get a crouch or anything. And that makes that jump very, very difficult. But we move on to Wondered Hades 45. And he's doing a lot of wondering on how to make these jumps right now, it appears, because, wow, he's doing a lot of setup. This time limit is tough this tournament. 5 seconds were added to these obstacles to take a little bit longer than they did last time. So, Wondered Hades is really got to get a move on going, but it doesn't appear he's in any rush whatsoever. And he gets onto the 4th step, which is good, but you look at the time, he's already burned 30 seconds of his 110, so not great. We'll see, though, he's setting up this jump to the 5th. Wondered Hades. Oh my goodness, he almost overshoots, but he is there. And now just the jump to the pole and then the dismount, and he will have beaten the first obstacle. He gets the pole and then runs off. I guess the first time he tried to rush the entire run, he screwed it up and ended up dead. That's a tough scene. Time for our fast forward. Indo completely missed that jump to the 1st step. Then Ian Isaac did not get the jump to the 2nd step. And then we had Kamavo, but it's all spaced out and weird. I'm not sure I understand this gamer tag, but whatever. Moved pretty good through the first obstacle. Stopped on the 5th step in the pole, but it's perfectly fine. He got through that, and he was looking pretty good. And then he decided to shoot at the rest of the course and just marvel at the grandeur, the surroundings, I guess. And by the time he went for the circle hammer, he had 30 seconds left. He landed on it, and then he walked off. And yeah, it was not a good look for him. But now we have number 11, Kyle Chainbag 2. From one Kyle to another, I hope he does well. He's another big fan of jumping, so we'll see how he handles his first attempt at this course. So he almost came up short of that 2nd step, but he appears to be in a rhythm now. Stops on that 5th step, and we'll get the dismount. And now climbs the ramp. Now take on the circle hammer. Oh no! He also comes up short of that first rope. It's a big jump. You really need to get a full jump going and get that crouch, and he did neither of those. And now, number 12, we have Wild Mantas, but with 4s instead of 8s. Bit of an odd one, but sure, fine. He is, oh my goodness, he was moving good through the step pillar, and then he just walked off the 3rd step. This takes us on to number 13. It is Pixel Projects. He's been a bit on and off in recent years in the community, but he is back kind of dedicated to jumping again on Halo Infinite, which is great to see. He's been really good on Smokey's course in the past, so we'll see how Pixel handles his first attempt at this course. He almost came up short of the pole and the dismount, but he is across, and now he will jump his way up the ramp and get ready for the circle hammer. He will also choose that right side, go quickly back to the center, and go for the dismount, and he barely makes it. Bit close on the dismounts of the first 2 obstacles. Hopefully this isn't a trend, because these dismounts in this course are tough. Pixel! No, he cannot get the 3rd diamond. He jumped too high there, and Pixel is out on the diamond back. And now we have Natsul Dragmeal at number 14. This is another strange gamer tag, but okay. But he is moving smoothly through the first obstacle, and that was well done. Now he's climbing up those steps, getting ready for the circle hammer, and he lands the first one and jumps for the 3rd one. You cannot go straight. You need to pick a side there, pal, and he did not. All right, number 15, we have Could Be Better, better known as Phil. Phil is obviously the Abs Grand Champion, so we're hoping to see great things from him here today. Another competitor that has kind of, found some motivation again to do some jumping with the move to Halo Infinite, which is awesome to see. Phil is a great competitor. We've seen it on multiple courses in the past. Hoping to see some greatness here on Irish Warrior in his first appearance. As the first obstacle is no match for him, as he's making his way down the circle hammer, going forward the dismount, and he's across. And now Phil onto the Diamondback. He just watched Pixel fail here. He does not want to replicate that as he goes for the 3rd. Lands a little odd, but he's okay. And now going for the dismount, and he is across. Now it is the Dancing Stones. This is a new obstacle for him. It's a new obstacle for everybody. But he gets that 5th ball, which Bowsy Pie could not. He gets the 7th. He gets a good save jump there. That is perfectly fine. And he gets through. 50 seconds left. Not the greatest pace, but it's still doable as he's onto the wire bridge. 3, 4. Wires get smaller. He's onto the 2 big jumps, and he could not adjust. Could be better. Phil is out on the wire bridge. A solid debut performance, but he will not be beating stage 1 today as we move on to the last newcomer of the tournament, Fasty Tasty 3, with the overhead angle as he beats the step pillar. Climbing up that ramp, and now it's the circle hammer. He pauses there, kind of balks a little bit, goes for it, and had no speed or clue of what he was doing, and he comes up short. Alright, that is the end of the newcomers. It is all returning competitors the rest of the way, all starting with Fix the Wi-Fi, making his 3rd appearance. He had a bit of a hiatus, but came back in the last tournament, but went down on the tire pressure. And this is the replacement, the Circle Hammer. We'll see how he handles it. Wi-Fi going for that right side. Everybody so far has gone that right side, but Wi-Fi is across and through the second obstacle. He's done better than last time, and now he's on to the Diamondback. He beat this obstacle in Tournament 13, so we'll see how he does today. So far, so good. Going for the dismount, and he runs off. Wi-Fi could not get the jump off. He just went maybe a little bit too fast for that dismount. Rushed it a little, and it has cost him. But now we have Robotic Pie at number 18. We've seen some promise from him on other courses, but hasn't really resulted in too much for him here. He failed the tire pressure last time, but we've seen him beat stage 1 on Spartan Ninja Warrior, so we know he's capable of good things, and he put in a lot of practice for this tournament. So we'll see what he can do. He's onto the Circle Hammer now, trying to beat this to do better than last time at least. He gets a save jump on that 3rd rope, but that is fine, and he gets through. Now 81 seconds left as he is on to the Diamondback. He's going to jump to that right side, make that 2nd one. Going for the 3rd, a bit of a low jump, but he is okay. And now going for the dismount. Robotic is through. And now it's his turn to take on the Dancing Stones. Looks like he's going to stop on a few of these. Connect the jump from 4 to 5. He might be connecting them all. He is speeding through the rest of this obstacle, and he is through. 52 seconds left. We'll see how he handles the rest of the stage. He goes to the wire bridge, and he completely cuts his momentum on that 2nd wire. Cannot get to the 3rd. And that is a tough break for Robotic. But now at number 19, we have Wild Sasuke 67, better known as Game Show. He missed the last tournament, but he is back. Game Show is through the 1st obstacle, and now we'll take on the Circle Hammer. He will mount onto it. That's a good start, and it looks like he'll be the first competitor to use that left side. Very nice of him to show it some love. He gets over back into the center, and now setting up this dismount. It is a big jump. He does not get a sprint, and it has cost him. Really good camera work there. Fine showing by the cameraman. But yeah, Game Show is unfortunately in the water, and that is a tough break for him. But now at number 20, we have Spartan Walnut 71, making his 7th appearance. In his 6 previous appearances, he has failed the 4th obstacle 5 times, including last tournament, and now the 4th obstacle is arguably even tougher with the Dancing Stones. So, not the sight I'm sure Walnut wanted to see. We'll see how he handles this course here today in Tournament 22. As he's taking on the Circle Hammer, goes a little forward on the pole, a little bit risky, does not give you the most momentum to make that dismount, but he has made it, and now he is on to the Diamondback. Jumps that left side. On the 2nd one, looks like he is staying to the left as he makes the 3rd, and now setting himself up, going forward the dismount, and he is there. Alright, it is time for the Dancing Stones. Obstacle 4, the one he has circled, I'm sure. He makes the 2nd one with a save jump, as well as the 3rd. So he's been pretty cautious here, sticks that 4th one, going for the 5th, gets a save jump. Time is starting to tick away with all these save jumps, but he is hanging in there. Connects 6 and 7, gets a couple of good save jumps. Walnut going for the 8th and the dismount, and he's across, but 40 seconds left. The time is really tough, and so is that first jump when you don't get a solid sprint going, and that is what's just happened to Walnut. Walnut is down on the wire bridge. Still a good run for him. As we move on to number 21, it is Foamy Boy. Foamy has failed the wire bridge in his last 3 tournaments. Of course, it has been kind of shuffled around. It was Obstacle 2 when it debuted in Tournament 19, Obstacle 4 in Tournament 20, Obstacle 5 last time. Tournament 20 was the first time he actually beat the third obstacle in this course, so his last 2 runs have been very solid for his standards. We'll see how he does today, as the first obstacle is no match for him. We'll see, though, how he takes on the Circle Hammer new obstacle. He will go to that right side, back into the center, and now going for the dismount. Foamy comes up short. He got a dolphin jump up. He's still going, but yeah, you can't really continue. If you touch the ground, you're out, and yeah, we'll just go ahead and cut away from that. Let's just imagine that he died there, because he was supposed to. Moving on, though, number 22, we have Wolf Ninja back on the course. We've not seen him since Tournament 15. It's good to have him back, though. It's been about a year since we've seen him on the course, as he's taking on the step pillar and going for that pole, and he overshoots it. Wolf Ninja, shocking first obstacle fail there. Not what we wanted to see from him, as somebody was also able to evade the death barrier and get onto the course. A bit interesting. Okay, number 23, we have Free MMO Direct. He would have the T at the end, I think, if it weren't for the 12 character limit now on Xbox. But Free had a solid debut performance last time. We're number 1 and failed the wire bridge. So let's see what he can do here in appearance number 2 as he takes on the Circle Hammer, moving with some good speed. Free is a PC player. I believe he uses mouse and keyboard, so it would be cool to see a mouse and keyboard clear. So we'll see what Free can do here as he is speeding his way through the diamonds. This is, he's moving with a definite sense of urgency here. He wants to give himself some time, maybe for the wire bridge and maybe for the obstacles after, as he is going quickly here across the stones as well. Look at him go. Free is through 64 seconds left, a really good pace to this point, as he takes on the wire bridge, the obstacle that took him out last time. So far, so good. And going for the dismount. He got caught up a little, but he is fine. 51 seconds going for the escape wall. Not up in 1. It's unfortunate. He's going to reset, go for it again. He gets up on the second attempt. 43 seconds left. This is doable here for Free. As he goes for the triple hurdle, he lands that first hurdle. All these jumps are the same, but they're not easy. He's going to go at an angle here for the second one and gets a safe jump. He is good. Now, going to go back over to the right, set himself up for the third. He lands the pole. He doesn't get a sprint, and he comes up short of the final log. Free MMO Direct. He was moving really good. I think if he makes that jump, he probably clears the first stage, but unfortunately just couldn't get the sprint going. Notice here, he lands the pole and just maybe jumps a little bit too early to get the sprint to kick in. Had he done that, he probably would have been on to the second stage, but it will not happen today. Still a solid showing, and hopefully a run he can take some confidence from, but it's just a tough break as we move on to number 24. Demigods is back. We have not seen him since Tournament 18, but he is back on the course. Demi taking on the step pillar. This obstacle took him out in Tournament 12, and he was not here last time, so 0 for 1 in this obstacle in his career, but he's moving good so far. He lands that 5th step, goes for the pole and the dismount. That is some long-awaited revenge there for Demigods, as he will now take on the Circle Hammer. Looks like he's taking his time here a little bit. He will use that left side. And now go back to the center, and he is there. Now the big dismount for Demigods, and he's across. 70 seconds left as it's time for the Diamondback. Demi will jump to the right and make that second one. And now setting himself up. Low jump, but he lands the third. And now it's the dismount. Demi runs for it, goes for it, and comes up short. Looks like he just didn't get a full head of steam going. Might have jumped a, he didn't really use the full top of the diamond there. He probably could have used a little bit more of a run up, but yeah, it is a tough break. It is a tough jump. I mean, it's big. So we now have at number 25, Bubba Ace, the first member of the Perfect Attendance Club. He has failed the wire bridge in the last 2 tournaments. He's had a series of foes, some nemesises, on this course, and the wire bridge appears to be the newest one, but we'll see what happens here today on his 22nd appearance. Bubba now taking on the Circle Hammer new obstacle. Of course, Circle Hammer was debuted, and its only Sasuke tournament was Tournament 22, so I guess a bit of a coincidence that it is debuting here on Irish Warrior in Tournament 22 as well. Bubba Ace taking on the Diamonds now. As he lands that second one, Ooh, a bit of a weird setup, but he lands that third one. And now that dismount just took out Deej. Will not get Bubba as he is on to the Dancing Stones. He's not moving at the greatest pace, but if he keeps it moving here, he still should have a chance to clear. As Bubba gets up to the fourth, a bit of an odd, like crouchy thing there, and he gets a save jump on the fifth. He almost overshot that. Good control. As he goes forward, the seventh connects the sixth and the seventh. That seems to be a common strategy, as well as connecting the jump to the eighth and the dismount. And now here is Bubba versus the wire bridge. 40 seconds left. His time is not great. We'll see if he can get through this, though. He will stop on that fifth one, and he is taking a lot of time. It's like an animal's like attacking him or something like that. He's completely frozen. Holy cow. Okay, he's going for it again. He gets the sixth, the seventh, and he crouches and slides. He cut his momentum just a little bit too much with that crouch. When you slide like that, you really just need to be aware of where you are and just almost stop yourself on that pole. And he tried to go for the dismount, just couldn't save himself. And that is a tough break for Bubba. But now we are halfway through and no clears yet. And we're on to El Booker Taco, making his 18th consecutive appearance. Booker failed the wire bridge last time. He's had a few good runs where it's just like he just has not been able to put it all together and get to the finish line. Only 2 clears to show for himself, but he's really a more talented jumper, I think, than what his results show. Booker going for the dismount on the circle hammer, and he's across, and now on to the Diamondback. He's going to go for that left side, and then go, looks like cross over to the right, lands that, and now pretty far forward, going for a short run for the dismount. He gets a huge save jump. Holy cow, how did he save that? Booker is onto the dancing... No, he's not onto the Dancing Stones. He got that save jump, and I think he just kind of panicked and didn't get a full sprint going. Probably could have taken a second to compose himself after that big save jump. He's gotten a few of those on my course for whatever reason, but tough break there on the Dancing Stones. Now at number 27, though, we have Eternal Flame making his 3rd appearance. Last time, he had a solid run, but then took 19 attempts at the escape wall and was not able to get up, so I'm sure he's just absolutely thrilled that the escape wall has been made even tougher. But he is through the step pillar, no problem. Now on to the new circle hammer. He is speeding his way through this, going for that dismount, and is across. And now it's the diamonds. He's going to also use that left side and then switch over to the right. And then the dismount, we just watched Booker almost fail this. We've seen a few people fail that dismount, but he is through. And on to the Dancing Stones. He's done better than Booker, at least by landing on it. And now jumping his way across, dropping down. He's moving with a lot of speed here. This is very solid. And he is through the Dancing Stones with really no hesitation. He's got a minute left as he's taking on the wire bridge. Eternal Flame, moving pretty good. Going for the last 2, a bit of a weird landing on that last wire, but he gets through, going for the escape wall. He's up in 1, that is huge. It's been made even tougher, and after failing it last tournament, he gets up on the first try. He gets the first hurdle, the triple hurdle too. 40 seconds left, he's got a lot of time left. As he goes for the second hurdle, bit of lag, but he is there. 33 seconds left for Eternal Flame. 1 hurdle to go, and he lands it. And gets onto the cargo climb. 26 seconds left. He has time. Just can't afford too many mistakes. But he's going clean here. Gets up to the top level and gets to the top. And Eternal Flame has broken through in Tournament 22. He's our first clear of the day. And what a fine run it was. 18.92 seconds left on the clock. I tell you what, that's got to feel good. The fact that that obstacle got made even tougher, the escape wall. He failed it last time and he gets up smoothly on the first attempt. Just awesome job there. And then on the triple hurdle, he watched Free go down on it earlier. It's a tough obstacle, but he was able to make all those jumps. No sweat there. And then composed himself, got up that cargo climb, and hit the buzzer with time in hand. And we will see him on the second stage. It's got to be a huge huge boost in confidence for him. Great to see for Eternal Flame. Congratulations. As we now have a clear on the board as we go on to number 28, Disappoint. He debuted in the last tournament, unfortunately went down on the cargo climb. Like Eternal Flame, had some struggles with the escape wall. He got up it, but then ran into some time troubles on that cargo climb. But back to the start of stage 1 here, as he is onto the circle hammer. He's using that left side, and taking the second or two to set up for that dismount, but he is across. And now Disappoint onto the Diamondback. Going for that right side and then switching over to the left. And now the Dismount, going for that bit of a sideways run, but he gets through that. And now 69 seconds left as he's taking on the Dancing Stones. As he drops down to the 5th, he's moving pretty good through this. And now gonna connect all those in a row and get through that. 57 as he gets ready to take on the Wire Bridge. Disappoint, moving good. He's now got the 2 farther jumps and no problems there at all. 45 seconds left, he's on the escape wall. And he's also up in 1. That's great to see. 40 seconds left for Disappoint. As he is onto the triple hurdle, he gets the first jump with room to spare. Well done. Now the second jump. And he has gotten that one as well. Disappoint, 26 seconds as he goes for the third. He lands the log, goes right for the cargo climb. He is on it. 21 seconds left. He slips up. He's fine. He still has time. He slips up again. He's got to compose himself. 15 seconds left. He's up to the second level. Backs himself up. He's up to the third with 12 seconds. He hits his head. He falls down a level. He's down to the second level. 7 seconds. He's absolutely panicking, and he has blown it. Disappoint is out on the cargo climb for the second tournament in a row. And he has just had an absolute meltdown. He had so much time. He just needed to just get up with no issues. But unfortunately, he just was jumping not high enough, trying to get to that second level. It took him 3 attempts to get up to the second level, which chewed up some time, but he still was fine. He sets up for it, gets that third level perfectly fine, but then he just jumps straight up. He had no sideways movement at all. And so he just bonked his head on the top level, fell down a level, and then the time really was just so against him. He just had to panic and rush trying to get back up to the third level. He completely overshot it and ended up in the water. And that is just a tragic way to go out. He was so close to the finish line. Would have loved to see him get through. But I think it's a matter of when, not if for him. So looking forward to seeing him come back and maybe getting the clear. And now we have Snaz. He suffered a heartbreaker in the last tournament. He ran off the last Tarzan pole. Otherwise, he would have had time in hand and probably would have beaten the first stage. Snaz through the step pillar with no problems. Got to feel good considering he failed that in tournament 12. But now he's on to the circle hammer. Going for the dismount there, and he is across. Snaz now will have the Diamondback. He'll jump for that left side, set himself up, going for that right side. Oh, whoa! Whoa, I thought he just ran off. A little bit of lag, and he's okay, thankfully. Now it's the Dancing Stones for Snaz. He was worried about this obstacle, so looks like he's going to be a little cautious here as he stops on that second ball. And the third, gets a good save jump there. Was a little off to the side, but he's fine now. Going for the 5th. He was a little short, but he gets another good save jump. Snaz going for the 6th and the 7th. Gonna save jump there on the 7th one. Go for the 8th and get through. But 45 seconds left. He's gonna have to keep the pace up if he wants to have a chance here. Snaz on the Wire Bridge. Moving good. He's on to the bigger 2 jumps. He slides! Oh no, he does exactly what Bubba did. He crouched a little bit there. And just when you get that crouch on that last wire, you sometimes slide and you just gotta stop yourself, and he couldn't do it. But now at number 30, we have Tricky Cyrus. Cyrus went down on the Tarzan poles last time as well. So we'll see if Cyrus can bounce back. He's been very up and down on this course considering his solid runs on other courses. This course has just not been the best for him. So we'll see if he can get his third clear today as he's making his way down the circle hammer and gets through that. Cyrus lands that second diamond, going forward the third. He is there. And now going for the dismount. Cyrus is across. 73 seconds left on the clock as he will take on the Dancing Stones. He's moving pretty good here. Dropping down to the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. And Cyrus is across. And now it's the Wire Bridge. Just watch Snaz go down here as he's moving pretty good. Got the 2 farther jumps, and he lands a little too far forward on that 6th wire. Could not get a full jump to make it to the 7th. And Tricky Cyrus is out. But now at number 31, we have Alpha Puma. He's had a couple disappointing runs on the last obstacle, stage 1, in a row. Tournament 20, he failed the last jump of the swivel swing. Tournament 21, he went just a little too slow in general, made a few mistakes and cost himself on the cargo climb. But Puma has definitely returned to form a little bit. He cleared stage 1 in tournaments 18 and 19, hoping to get another one today. The tournament 18 clear was especially impressive considering only 5 clears in that tournament. Puma finished 4th place, so again, Puma has shown signs of life here lately, hoping to keep that going as he's taking on the Diamondback. He's on that 3rd diamond, setting himself up off the top, going forward the dismount, and he is through onto the Dancing Stones. Puma working his way through it with good speed. He's connecting them all. Oh, he landed really far off to the side there on number 7, but he is good. And now he's on to the wire bridge. Puma moving good. And now the farther 2 jumps, and he is through that. Puma with 42 seconds left as he's up the escape wall. He gets the first hurdle with a bit of a weird slidey save jump, but he is good. And now, going for the second one, he is there. Puma with 28 seconds left. He's setting himself up for the 3rd hurdle. Can he get there? Yes! He gets onto the cargo climb, 22 seconds left. Puma needs to avoid a mistake. He watched Disappoint, who also failed this obstacle last time, fail it this time, but he's moving good. Oh, he almost fails the last jump, but he stops himself. Really good jump awareness there. Something that Puma prides himself on, I guess. He also prides himself on save jumping. I don't really know what I'm saying, but 8.79 seconds left for Alpha Puma. A really solid bounce back run there. He will be moving back to stage 2. And now we have the first of the 17 that beat stage 1 in the last tournament. Number 32, Soul Reaper 1025. Soul beat stage 1 all the way back in tournament 3. And, it took him a little while. He had a few droughts or gaps in appearances here and there, but finally cleared for the 2nd time in the last tournament. Went down at the top of the donut climb. But Soul hoping to have another good run here. He's had a lot more confidence since the move to Halo Infinite. He also beat stage 1 of Spartan Sasuke 23, so hoping to keep his momentum rolling. Here is Soul Reaper as he's on to the Diamondback. Moving smoothly, and the first 3 obstacles were no match for him. And now, Soul onto the Dancing Stones. 70 seconds left. He is stopping on each of these balls, that's fine. 4th ball. The 5th ball, he's going to go right into the 6th and the 7th stop there. And we'll get off of it. 58 seconds left for Soul Reaper. As he's moving across these wires. The farther 2 jumps now, and he's across. 46 seconds left. Soul gets up in 1. Really well done. 41 seconds left. He's got time in hand for the triple hurdle. He lands the first antenna and then runs off. Soul Reaper 1025 is out on the new 7th obstacle. It's another good run for him, but he just couldn't get the jump off. And this takes us to number 33. It is Halo Fan 17. His first 3 appearances were not good at all, and so he shocked everybody in the last tournament by not only beating the 3rd obstacle for his first time, but beating the entire first stage, becoming the first clear on Halo Infinite. We'll see what he can do here in his follow-up run. He's put a lot more pressure on himself here today. But Halo Fan definitely has shown he has the ability to get to the finish line. That's how he did it last time. As he's through the first 2 obstacles, now onto the Diamondback. He failed to mount onto it in both tournaments 19 and 20. Got it last time, and apparently that opened the doors for him. But he's through the diamonds again, and now it is the Dancing Stones. So he's going to jump back over to the left, get a save jump there on that 3rd one. Save jumps the 4th one, and he's taking a lot of save jumps, burning some time here, but he's still moving at a good pace, so it still should be fine. Halo Fan is through the Dancing Stones, 56 seconds left as he's onto the wire bridge. He's doing a little bit of a back and forth. It's a bit risky, but he's hanging in there as he goes forward. The 7th, he comes up short. Might have just cut his momentum a little bit too much there, jumping from 6 to 7. Could not adjust for that farther jump. Now at number 34, we have Gotenks. Gotenks on his 18th appearance in the last tournament finally broke through and got to the first stage finish line for his first time. Went down on the triple pole jump like Halo fan. We'll see how Gotenks handles tournament 22 here. Again, maybe he'll start a new streak. You know, he had 17 fails in a row. Maybe he'll get 2 clears in a row. But first things first, it's the Circle Hammer. We've definitely seen our top competitors not struggle too much with this, and he will not either. Gotenks now will take on the Diamondback. Gotenks has actually never failed this obstacle. A perfect record on this obstacle, which, again, it's gotten quite a few competitors, so that's pretty impressive there for Gotenks. Hoping to keep it alive. Yes, no commentator's curse, thankfully. 65 seconds, though, before the Dancing Stones is not a great pace. He's going to have to pick it up here a little bit. He's on to the 3rd ball. Up to the 4th, stops there. Down to the 5th. He is doing a lot of stopping and hesitating. Gets a save jump on the 6th ball, 2nd one. He almost overshot that one. But gets on to the 7th ball and the 8th and gets through. But 44 seconds is not ideal. He's going to have to really move if he's going to clear. But he's on to the wire bridge. The 4th, 5th, jumps to the 6th, the 2 farther jumps. He lands the 7th with a crouch and a slide, and unfortunately couldn't keep his forward momentum going to go right for the dismount. He has done exactly what we just saw from Bubba and Snoz. He has duplicated that fail, and that is unfortunate. But this takes us to number 35, Spenny37, better known as Killer Demand, another competitor that broke through last time. It only took him 8 appearances, but again, he competed for the first time in Tournament 7, missed a bunch of turn-ons, finally came back in Tournament 15. He's competed in every tournament since, and it was a great moment for him. I loved his interview where he kind of talked about the mental aspect of jumping and competing on courses, and, you know, it just all worked out for him finally in the last tournament, which was awesome to see. Killer got through the first 2 obstacles there, no problems, as he's now on to the Diamondback. Ooh, a bit of a weird run up there, going for that 2nd one. And going forward the 3rd, he didn't get the full apex of the diamonds, but it looks like it won't matter, as he is through. And now, hesitates for a second, almost came up short of that first ball, but he's now on to the Dancing Stones. This is a tough obstacle, but not that many people have failed it yet, which is a little surprising. But it is chewing up some time for some people, but Killer's keeping a good pace going there. He stopped on the 7th ball, but he's good now. He's through 53 seconds onto the wire bridge. Killer moving good. He's on to the 6th. Going forward the 7th, he slides off. Oh my goodness. A lot of issues on these last couple wires here on the wire bridge today, and Killer is another victim of this obstacle. And that's 3 fails in a row on the 3 competitors in a row that have gone down on the wire bridge as we move on to number 36, Sane the Legend. Sane was able to break through in the last tournament. It was only his 3rd appearance, but it was really cool to see, especially because he had so much confidence in Stage 2. He did fail the circle twist last time, but he had really high hopes of getting through Stage 2, making it deep Stage 3. Would love to see that from him this tournament, but he's got to stay focused here on Stage 1, first things first. Same going for the dismount on the Circle Hammer, and again, no good competitors are really struggling with that new Circle Hammer. But now he's on to the Diamondback, and he lands that 3rd one. Going for the dismount now, backs himself up to get the full run-up, which is fine. He is through 71 seconds. He's on to the Dancing Stones. He's going to drop down for the 3rd. Jump up for the 4th. He'll stick that one. Drop down to the 5th. Looks like he's definitely stopping on each of these balls, which is, oh, he didn't stop on that one. He almost overshot the 6th ball, but he's okay, and he is through. 52 seconds left for Sane as he is onto the wire bridge. He's moving his way across pretty good. He's just watched multiple people fail this obstacle, so he's going to stop on that 6th wire, stop on the 7th wire. That is fine. Going for the dismount, he is across, but look at the time though. It is dripped away. 33 seconds left. He's up the escape wall, but he's down to 30 seconds. He's going to have to go. Sane. He stops in the first antenna and gets the jump across. You can stop on these antennas, but it does chew time, and Sane doesn't have any time. He's got 18 seconds left. It's not looking good, and he doesn't make the 2nd log anyway. I don't think Sane had enough time where he would have been able to finish the stage in time, but still another solid performance from him. Hopefully he can move a little faster and get to the Stage 1 buzzer next time round. But now we have somebody who missed the last tournament, but otherwise has been on an absolute tear. Sonic Fan 10193. He's only failed stage 1 once in this era, which is pretty amazing considering before this era he had never beaten stage 1. Of course, though, this is the 11th tournament of this era, and this is the 10th time he's competed in this era. So we'll see how Sonic does on his first time on Halo Infinite. He will use that left side on the circle hammer and go for the dismount, and he's across. Last time he was here, Sonic had an awesome run. He had that crazy reaction at the end of the supermarket where he got through, but unfortunately went down on the cliffhanger. It was a personal best for him by one ledge, but he's hoping for a lot more on stage 3 if he can ever get there again. But Sonic got to focus on stage 1. He stops on that third ball of the Dancing Stones, and now dropping down to the 5th, he'll stop there as well. Sonic taking his time here a little bit on this obstacle. It's fine. He's moved pretty quick to the first 3 obstacles, so he's saved up some time to use there. 54 seconds left before the wires. It's not the most time in the world, but he's doing okay. 47 seconds. Sonic moving his way along, going for the dismount. He's across. 42 seconds left. He needs up the escape wall, but he doesn't get up in 1. That's okay. Got to reset. Go for it again. And he's up on the second attempt. That escape wall is a little different than how it was on Halo 5, but he was able to adjust in the second attempt. And he almost overshot the first hurdle of the triple hurdle, but he's fine now. As he goes for the second one with speed, he gets a safe jump. He's there. 20 seconds left. As he's going now for the third hurdle, he gets onto it with a good save jump and gets onto the cargo climb. 13 seconds left. He can't really afford any mistakes. 9 seconds. He's up to the 4th level. Going up to the 5th. Gets up top, and Sonic Fan clears. 4.40 seconds left. It wasn't exactly the prettiest run, but you know what? It doesn't matter. As long as the clock doesn't say 0 and you hit the buzzer, you're moving on to stage 2, and that is what Sonic's done. Very solid. He has shaken off the rust well. I guess it's only one tournament, but to adjust to the new game, awesome to see for Sonic Fan. But now at number 38, we have Cobra. He has been definitely on a roll lately. He's beaten 6 stage 1s in a row, but last time had a shocker on stage 2. Did the worst out of the 17 that beat stage 1 when he, oh my goodness, bit of lag there on the step pillar. He failed the jump from 1 to 2 on the donut climb, and he was very frustrated with that result. So he's hoping to, first things first, beat stage 1, but then do a lot better than that on stage 2. That's Cobra making his way down, going for that dismount with a bit of a pole whip on the circle hammer, and he's through. And now it's his turn to take on the diamonds. Going for the third, landed a little high there, got to slide down, but he's fine. And now going for the dismount, he's across. Cobra with 73 seconds left as he's taking on the Dancing Stones, and he's moving really smoothly through this. Cobra likes to go fast. He's just a naturally fast jumper, and we were seeing that here. 61 seconds as he's onto the wire bridge. Making his way pretty good across here. He's onto the 2 bigger jumps now, and he is across. Cobra with 50 seconds, going for the escape wall, up in 1. He is putting up a very smooth run so far. 44 seconds left as he's onto the triple hurdle. Ooh, he gets a weird save jump there, but lands that first hurdle. 37 as he's setting up the second jump, jumps off the antenna and onto the hurdle. 32 seconds left for Cobra. Setting himself up, getting himself in the prime position. He lands that third hurdle, no problems, gets onto the cargo climb, and he is moving his way up pretty nicely. Almost overshot that 4th ledge. That could have been a disaster, but it doesn't matter now. Cobra has hit the buzzer with 16.11 seconds left. A very impressive run there for Cobra as he keeps his streak going. He's got Spartan Walnut there punching him. He's happy for him. That is 7 stage 1 clears in a row for Cobra. And we will be seeing him again on stage 2, as it appears they're just having a boxing match going on right now. They're just crushing each other. Bit interesting. We'll move on, though, to number 39. We have Flame-O-Saurus. Flame has been on a streak himself. He has beaten 4 stage 1s in a row. Last time, unfortunately, went down on the circle twist. The 2 runs, or really the 3 runs before that, were all super impressive. He had 2 supermarket fails and a stage 3 where he failed the discus throw, but Flame has definitely kind of returned to the form we expect from him on other courses. So we'll see if Flame can keep his streak going, keep his momentum rolling. As the first obstacle, the step pillar, no match for him. As he jumps his way up, gets himself ready for the circle hammer. He's going to go right and then go back to the center and go for the dismount. And simple enough for Flamosaurus, as he is now on to the Diamondback. The host of Spartan Ninja Warrior will land that right side of the second diamond, go for the third. And now Flame going for the dismount, and he is through. And on to the Dancing Stones. 68 seconds left. Flame with a bit of a weird jump off that third ball, but he is still fine. Going forward the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, and he is through. 59 seconds left on the clock for the wire bridge. He will stop on that first wire. That's perfectly fine. You can set yourself up on that first one to then connect them all if you do it right. It looks like he's going for that. Oh, he landed a little off on that last wire, but he gets the dismount across. 44 seconds left as he goes for the escape wall. Mongoose might be a little sideways, but he doesn't get up in one. He's jumping to the side, though. He's not going directly at the Mongoose. Oh, that's why he's trying to get in the passenger seat, but it took him 3 attempts to do so, and that has chewed some clock. 30 seconds left for Flame, but he lands the first hurdle. Well done. And now gets himself over to the left, getting himself ready for the second hurdle. He gets up into that as well. 19 seconds left as Flame goes for the third hurdle. He gets a save jump, and he is there. No, he slips off. Oh my goodness. Flame with a shocking error. He just missed the save jump and could not stick that last hurdle. The time would have been close. It would have been awesome to see him take on that last obstacle, the time ticking down, but unfortunately Flame's clear streak has come to an end. But this man knows how to get a clear streak. He missed his first tournament last time, but he is back. Number 40, it is Weapon Matt. Weapon Matt, of course, the 2-time grand champion of this course. However, last time missed his first tournament and was given this number basically because he was a shock appearance. Didn't really expect him to be here. He's just kind of a busy man now with college, which is understandable. But Matt is here, and that's awesome to see as he takes on the circle hammer. We'll see what Matt can do here. He didn't really have a whole lot of expectations for this run, so we'll see what he can do as he's on to the Diamondback. He jumps to that left side, going quickly for the right. He is there, and going for the dismount, and he is through. Matt, oh my goodness, barely made that first ball in the Dancing Stones, but now is moving with urgency across this, moving very smoothly to the 7th, the 8th, and the dismount with a spin. Wow, Matt keeping the spins alive as he's on to the wire bridge with 54 seconds left. Matt moving good. He's onto the farther 2 jumps, and no problems for him as he gets a little bit of a jump going into the escape wall. It's worked out for him. He's up in 1. 43 seconds left. He's onto the obstacle that just took out his Buckaroo pal Flame. The triple hurdle. Matt comes up short of the first hurdle, though. Matt is out, and he's getting multiple dolphin hops. That's pretty impressive, but he's unable to make it to the platform. That's a tough break. But Matt is out, and that is a tough scene. That is Matt's second Stage 1 fail in a row, the first time ever that he's gotten multiple Stage 1 fails in a row on this course. And fortunately for Matt, he just didn't get a clean jump off that antenna, was not able to make it to that first log. And it's a stunner. I mean, obviously, it's hugely disappointing considering he is our grand champion, but Matt did say, he just didn't practice enough, and, it's just a tough obstacle. So, still good to have him on the course. Hopefully we can see him back here next time, as we have 40 runs down and 4 clears to show for our competitors so far. We'll see how our final 10 do. All beginning with number 41, Atlantic Champ, or Atlantic Camp is really the way it is, just with the 12-character limit deal. Still used to calling him Chumpy, but he's back to being Atlantic. Either way, he beat Stage 1 in the last tournament, failed the circle twist. He's been a bit hot and cold lately. We'll see which Atlantic will show up. We'll see if it's Atlantic or Chumpy, because no, never mind. I'm not going to make a comparison there. Atlantic is through the first 2 obstacles with no problems there, and now he's on to the Diamondback as he's going to go quickly up, going forward to the right side and back to the left. Yeah, moving with some speed. We've seen him go fast in general in the past. So Atlantic now on to the Dancing Stones. And now jumping down to the 5th, the 6th, up to the 7th, across to the 8th, and through with no problem. 61 as he's going for the wire bridge. About that minute left is about the ideal time, it seems like, to get onto the wire bridge. But he's moving good here across this. He failed this obstacle in tournament 20, but it's no match for him here today. As he goes for the escape wall, up in 1, 46 seconds left for Atlantic. He just watched Matt fail his first hurdle, but he will get onto it. And now he's going to go for a quick run up, a quick turn, get onto the second hurdle. Going for another quick turn, going for the third. He gets a good save jump. He's actually able to pull off the save jump, unlike Flame. And now, 26 seconds left. He's got time as long as he doesn't screw this up. I think he did this obstacle like backwards last time. He did something wacky. He's not doing any of that today. Atlantic is through. Well done to him. 18.25 seconds left on the clock. Not quite able to get Eternal Flame for the fastest time, but it is still a very solid run. And we'll see Atlantic back in the second stage. But now at number 42, it is the host of Ninja Warrior Halo. He's trying to punch a rock and knock it over or something. I'm not really sure what he's trying to do here. But it's Hunter Unit 751. We've seen him be just so consistent on this course, beating stage 1. However, he was another victim of the circle twist last time. We saw 5 fails on it last time, so it really did some good damage. Hunter was one of the victims of it. He would love to get back to stage 3 like he did in that incredible tournament 20 run. He had that also incredible tournament 15 run. We know Hunter can do it. He's just got to put it all together. We'll see if today's another day where he can do it. Hunter had no troubles there in the first obstacle, and now we'll take on the Circle Hammer. As he will also choose that right side. Be sure to show that left side some love in the comments, because it appears that that left side of the Circle Hammer is just going to be extremely lonely. But either way, Hunter is on to the Diamondback, and he's on to the third diamond. Now going for the dismount. Hunter's across. 74 seconds as he's on to the Dancing Stones, the new obstacle. It's kind of amazing. Only 2 people have failed this obstacle so far. It is a tough obstacle, but our competitors are making it work. Hunter will stop in that 7th one, and he'll be another competitor through it, and he is on to the wire bridge. Now this obstacle's been extremely tough though, so we'll see if Hunter can get through this. He's on to the 6th, the 7th. He will stop there. He's seen a lot of people screw up going right for that dismount. He sets up, and that was probably wise. He's still through, and he's still got time. 44, and he gets up the escape wall in 1. 41 seconds left for Hunter Unit. He will take a second to set himself up here for the triple hurdle. Makes that first one, no problems. And now, Hunter, taking his time here, does not want to make a mistake. This is a tough obstacle. Hunter lands the second hurdle, 25 seconds left. And now going right for that third one, he will stomp on the pole. He's changed his technique here for this last one, and he gets a save jump and is able to land the log. 14 seconds left. Hunter climbing up the cargo climb. He looks good now. He's up to the top, and he gets up there. He crouches a little bit. I thought he was about to crouch walk into the buzzer. But man, if it's not Hunter Unit clearing with less than 10 seconds left again. Unbelievable. It's just like every tournament, he's able to pull it off. It's just a phenomenon. 6.53, but another solid clear for Hunter. We'll see him back in stage 2 yet again. And now at number 43, it is the turn of Ump Double Ump. We saw him in Tournament 5 with that incredible run at number 1 where he got all the way to stage 3. He was in the shadows for ages, it felt like, but he finally came back in Tournament 19. He had a couple unfortunate stage 1 fails to cap off Halo 5, but last tournament broke through, got by stage 1 again, got through the circle twist, which was a very difficult obstacle last time, but unfortunately it was Pandora's box that took him out. But Ump hoping to return to form here a little bit, get another stage 1 clear, maybe even get by stage 2 as well. He was a little closer on the Circle Hammer while I was talking about his past runs, but so far Ump is moving very quickly, very good, and he is through the diamonds, now on to the Dancing Stones. Ump Double Ump goes up to the 4th, down to the 5th. He is really connecting these. He's moving with some very good speed, and he is across 61 at the end of the Dancing Stones. He's onto the wires. Ump Double Ump, moving good. He's now on to the 6th, the 7th, going for that dismount. No sweat there on the wire bridge. It's a difficult obstacle, but you wouldn't know by watching Ump, and he's quickly up into the Mongoose. Impressive stuff from him. 42 seconds as he goes for the first hurdle. He lands the log or hurdle. I mean, I've used those interchangeably. It doesn't matter. He's on to the second log. No problems there as he's got 30 left for the jump onto the final log. He is there, and he gets onto the cargo climb. A bit of a weird landing on that second level, but he's okay. up to the 4th. One more to go. He's up top and gets there and double ump with another solid run. His second clear in a row, 16.47 seconds left. Really nothing to fault with that run. Awesome job by him. And we'll see him back on the second stage as we move on to Patty Freakin wearing number 44. Patty cleared last time in his second appearance, but unfortunately should have had a stage 3 to show for himself had he not screwed up the supermarket. He made up a lot of time on that stage 2 run and unfortunately ran off on the second aisle of the supermarket. We'll see how Patty will do today. He's 50-50 on stage 1 so far, hoping to get to the right side of the coin. Patty through the first 2 obstacles, no problems, and now he's on to the diamonds. He jumps right, going to circle back and jump to the left for the third one. Now going for the dismount, no problems for Patty Freakin. And as he is on to the Dancing Stones. Jumps down for the 5th. He's also full sending this. We're seeing some great speed here through this obstacle, and he is through 62 on the clock. Time is also looking good for him. Patty making his way across the wires. Looking smooth. Stops a little bit on that 7th one. Didn't have the cleanest landing on that, but it still is no match for him. However, he does miss the escape wall. He's still fine. 44 on the clock. He gets up on the second attempt. 42 seconds left on the clock for Patty Freakin. Stops a little bit here to set himself up for the wires. I'm sorry, the triple hurdle. Wrong obstacle. Good job, me. He's going for the second one. He lands that one. And now going for the third hurdle. Patty gets a save jump and he's able to pull it off. And he lands on the cargo climb. He's got 20 seconds. He's moving with urgency. He's moving with efficiency. And he is there. 16.11 seconds left on the clock. He actually just beat Cobra by 1/100th of a second there. It's not really a competition, but you know, it's still kind of funny. That's, I think, the closest margin we've ever had, far and away, with the 2 clears. But still, very impressive by him. And now, at number 45, we have Strafe Helix. After all the heartbreaks at the end of stage 1, he was not only able to clear stage 1 last time, but he got through stage 2 as well for his first time on his 19th appearance. So we'll see what Strafe can do here in Tournament 22. First obstacle is no problem for him. Strafe finally showed the form that we've seen on other courses. He is a Triple Crown winner, quote unquote. He's made the final on all 3 of the big 3. He's made it on Hunter's course, he made it on Rog's course, he's now made it on Smokey's course. We've seen how good he can be, so the fact that it took him this long to get to stage 3 on this course is kind of amazing. But hopefully he's come into form here with Halo Infinite, as Strafe is now onto the Dancing Stones. Just got to keep focused here, but he is moving fast. Strafe looks in a really good rhythm, and he is through that as well, and he's on to the wires. Strafe going right down the middle. Bit of lag, it looks like, or he's cutting his momentum a little bit, which is a little odd, but it doesn't matter. He is through. 50 seconds left. There's a bit of mongoose piece on the wall there, but it didn't throw him off or anything. He's got 45 for the triple hurdle. Strafe lands the first one. Good save jump there on that log. And now set himself up. Going for the second one. No problems there. And now the third. It has been a little bit problematic. Strafe lands the third with a save jump. Gets onto the cargo climb. 24 seconds left. Strafe climbing his way up. And that is a no-doubter right there. Another solid performance from Strafe Helix. All that needed to happen was the swivel swing to go away, and he is a new man. And, truly impressive there by Strafe Helix. 17.20. We'll see him in stage 2 again. That takes us up to 9 clears through 45 runs. And now, number 46, we have RPG 445. He also made his 19th appearance last time, and he also broke through stage 2 for his first time. Unfortunately, he went down one obstacle earlier than Strafe. He went down on the Infinity Rings. We'll see if Rog can somehow make it back-to-back. After all those tournaments of awaiting, all those tournaments of heartbreak on stage 2, Rog with that just super animated, awesome reaction when he finally got the job done last time. As Rog is through the second obstacle here in Tournament 22, and now it's the Diamondback. He jumps left here on the second one, Jumping left for the 30, lands a little odd. He didn't get a whole lot of forward momentum going, but he still made the jump across and is through the obstacle and on to the Dancing Stones. He will get a save jump on that second ball. He's not full sending this like some of the other people we've seen. Now looks like he's picking up the pace. Wow, this is impressive. He started this obstacle slow, and then he's really full sent some of the tougher jumps. But now, 53 on the clock. It's not the fastest pace at this point, but he still should be fine. As he's making his way across the wires, he'll stop on the 6th wire, go for the 7th. He will stop there. We saw Sane do a variation of this technique as well. It has worked for Rog. 39 on the clock. He gets up the escape wall. 35 seconds left. It's not the most time, but it still should be fine. He just can't mess around too much. But he's going quickly. He's doing a quick turn here on the 2nd hurdle. That's going to save him some time. He's going to go for it again on the 3rd. Get smoothly onto the 3rd hurdle and right on the cargo climb. He's just saved a ton of time. Super impressive. He makes a mistake there on the 3rd level. He can't afford too many. He's fine. It's up to the 4th. Bit of a weird jump up to the 5th. He does a little spin around. Might as well celebrate another clear for RPG 445. 8.31. It wasn't exactly the smoothest run, but you know what? He pulled it all together, and he has gotten to the end, and we're back to double-digit Stage 1 clears again. We still have 4 left to take on Stage 1. We could get up to 14. That would be very impressive. As we now have Petrillo Fam 4, number 47. In the early days of this era, he truly was the guy. Of course, Tournament 11, he got to the final. And Tournaments 12 through 16, he was super impressive. That's why he got number 50 in Tournament 17. He went on a bit of a rough patch there, though, from 17 to 20. He failed Stage 2 at number 50 in Tournament 17, then failed 3 Stage 1s in a row. And then Tournament 21, he kind of looked like himself again. Beat Stage 1 and then beat Stage 2. Fortunately went down on the cliffhanger, but you know what? Petrillo looks like he has rekindled that old form, hoping to keep it going here in Tournament 22, as the first 2 obstacles are no problems for him. And now it is the Diamonds. An obstacle that a competitor like Petrillo should have no problems with, and sure enough he doesn't. But now it's the new one, the Dancing Stones. Again, only 2 fails on it, but it can be tricky. You just gotta keep your focus on it. Petrillo, down to the 5th. Down to the 6th, up to the 7th, across the 8th, and a bit of a weird jump off that last ball, but he's still across. 54 seconds left on the clock as he's making his way across the wires. Goes for that 6th one, the farther 2. He actually saves himself. It looked like he was going to come up short if he was going to go right for that dismount, but he did a good job getting the save jump. And now Petrillo up the escape wall in 1, 37 seconds left. It's his time to take on the triple hurdle. He kind of went at an angle there, got a save jump, he's good. He's going for that sideways run again. Going for the 2nd one, and he comes up short. Petrillo Fam 4 out again in Deep Stage 1, his 4th Stage 1 fail in 5 tournaments. He's gone down at the triple hurdle, and that is a tough break. But we do have to move on to number 48, Smoky Massacre. He got to Stage 3 and failed the cliffhanger last time, got 3rd place. It was definitely a good run. He was very frustrated by his results in the last few tournaments. He's definitely kind of found some form in practice and finally put it together in an actual run in the last tournament. So we'll see what Smoky can do here as he's making his way down the circle hammer, and he's through that. And now it's the Diamonds. 4, Smoky Massacre, as he jumps to the left side, now going back over to the right, and going for that dismount. And it is no match for him. We saw Smoky clear with an obscene amount of time left last time. Over 30 seconds left, the fastest time. Don't know if 30 seconds is necessarily possible in this Stage 1, but he's moving pretty good here, and he's through the Dancing Stones. And now he is on to the wires. 56 for Smoky. Moving good, keeping his momentum moving straight forward, perfect distance control. He is through that, going right for the escape wall. Up in 1, 45 seconds left. Smoky taking on the new triple hurdle. It just took out Petrillo. It's not easy. 38 for Smoky, dropping, making the 2nd one. And now sets himself up, going quickly actually for the 3rd. He lands the log, sticks it, and then we'll go right onto the cargo climb. Smoky climbing his way up. with that flaming helmet, and he is, in fact, on fire on Stage 1, because that is 2 super solid Stage 1 performances in a row. He has taken the fastest time from Eternal Flame. Finally, Eternal Flame cleared at number 27. He's held the fastest time until just now. Smokey has finally gotten him with a 21.56. Wow! Patty freaking went flying there. That was hilarious. Don't know how they did that, but that was pretty cool. But now, at number 49, we have Fireball ZXZ. We've seen him put up really solid runs lately as well. We've seen him get to Stage 3 in 6 of the last 7 tournaments. Last time he got 2nd place, went down on the scrambled eggs, the new 6th obstacle. Let's see if Fireball can keep his hot streak rolling. First obstacle, no problems for the Halo Ninja Warrior Grand Champion. He's making his way down and going for the dismount, and he is through. Now it's the diamonds. Fireball only ends that left side, going for the right side on the 3rd, going for that dismount, and through that 76, getting ready for the Dancing Stones, and he is speeding his way across this one. Really moving with just reckless abandon, speeding his way across that 63, really no problems there. Fireball kind of going a little bit side to side. Now looks like he's going to try and straighten it out a little bit. Still had a little bit of side-to-side motion, but he's through the wires, no problem. Up the escape wall in 1. 47 seconds left for Fireball. As he goes for the first hurdle, the triple hurdle. I got through that. Going for that quick turn. Gets the second one. Going for the quick turn again. Going for the 3rd. He lands it without a crouch, basically. That was super solid. He is speeding his way up the cargo climb. Wow, look at that speed. He really turned on the jets there at the end. 27.97. He tried to prove me wrong. I claimed about how tough it was to get to 30. He almost got there, but still the fastest time. Smokey had it for 1 run, and now it is all Fireballs. And now just 1 man to go. Yes, he changed his gamer tag again. It is Joey Davis. I'm not even gonna say his new gamer tag. It doesn't even be deserved to be said. But he's just been on absolute fire. 3 finals in a row. Last time he almost made it 4 finals in a row. Went down on the Swap Winder, the new last obstacle, Stage 3. Joey has beaten the Swap Winder multiple times now in practice, so we're hoping to see Joey maybe make a push for that 4th final, which would break the tie he currently is sitting in with Matt. As first things first, though, it is the first stage, and he's got to stay focused here. He's on this incredible streak of 13 Stage 1 clears in a row, as Joey is now onto the Dancing Stones. Moving quick here. I mean, really, it shouldn't surprise you. It's Joey Davis. He likes to go quick. And sure enough, no hesitation or stopping there on the Dancing Stones. He's onto the wires. This has been tough. You can't really overlook this one. But he's keeping his momentum going good, and he's across. 50 seconds left. Going for the escape wall. Up in 1. Joey will now take on the triple hurdle. His pal Pedro failed this, but we'll see how he does. He is stopping here on the antenna. Go for the hurdle. He's there. 37 seconds left. He's going to stop on the second antenna as well. He's playing this pretty safe. It's a bit unlike Joey, but he's there. 29 as he gets himself in position for the 3rd hurdle. He runs off. Oh, no. Joey's clear streak is over. Joey has failed Stage 1 for the first time since Tournament 7 on that 3rd hurdle. He just didn't get a jump off. Tried to get his forward momentum going, and unfortunately, he just didn't jump. It's as simple as that. He just jumped a little too late where it didn't register, and instead he just runs off into the water, crashes against the pole, and Joey is a shocking Stage 1 exit. But despite that, we do have 12 people moving on to Stage 2. Fireball, Smokey, Eternal Flame, Atlantic, Strafe, Ump, Cobra, Patty, Puma, Rog, Hunter, and Sonic bringing up the rear. We had a very balanced Stage 1, no major killers among the group. But now these 12 will take on the second stage. Has had a couple of changes, but still looks pretty similar. All starts with the beam flipper. Make your way across all these difficult corner jumps. Make your way through that, and you're onto the donut climb. This obstacle has been changed. There's now only 5 donuts in comparison to the 8 that were there before, but the jumps themselves are all the same. And then you're on to the new planetarium. You got the sun and then 9 planets. You got to make very difficult jumps, especially that one there from Mars to Jupiter and Jupiter to Saturn are very big, high jumps. You really need to get perfect momentum and distance. And you make those drops down on the last 3 planets, get through the little gate, and then you're on to the circle twist. This obstacle's so tough last time, took out 5 people, was the ninja killer of the stage. But you get through that, you're on to Pandora's box. Gotta stick that super narrow ledge and then jump to the pole and then dismount. The modification is the run up is a little shorter. It doesn't really change the way the obstacle is done. And then it's the super launch. You gotta drive that mongoose off and land that platform. Again, the mongoose dismount mechanic is a little different on Halo Infinite, so hopefully our competitors are focused and ready for that. And then make your way around the 8 walls in the supermarket and get to the buzzer in 2 minutes and 15, and you're on to stage 3.
Right now, I'm still kind of in shock that I was able to beat stage 1, but I'm just kind of happy now. That was my only goal for this tournament. Now that I'm on stage 2, I'm really worried about failing anything, but I think if I get past the circle twist with enough time, I could clear.
Beating stage 1, I felt very confident in the obstacles. It's crazy that on this course recently, I felt a lot more confident. Even the times that I failed in 2021, I got to the last obstacle. So I feel like I have the flow down, and I feel like I have the ability to beat them. Stage 2, on the other hand, the first obstacle always scares me. The last 2 tournaments, I failed the third obstacle. It's a new third obstacle. I think it's really pretty. I hope to beat it. That is the goal today. If anything else after that is much gravy, so I'm gonna try my best.
It definitely sucks that I couldn't have it be like simultaneous tournaments since I had to miss the last tournament. But I'm very glad to be back here. 9 out of the last 10 is very nice. This beam flipper gives me troubles. This entire stage gives me troubles. I don't feel confident with this stage 2. There's a lot of different things that can take me out, all with a tight time limit. It's definitely meant to separate good from great. Whether or not I can be great remains to be seen, but I would not bet money on it.
I don't know how I'm here. I basically should have failed the second to last obstacle, but I somehow managed to persevere and get here. As for stage 2, I don't care if I clear or not. I just don't want to embarrass myself again on the donuts again. I'm hoping that I can get through it, and hopefully I get to attempt the new third obstacle, which I really love. I think it's one of Irish's best new custom obstacles.
I don't understand what everybody's problem was. The second to last obstacle of the stage was really, really easy. I just got back from college. I just got back from college like 2 days ago, and I'm doing this run. And the fact that I am here and some of the big names you see clearing all the time aren't here is pretty wild. My expectations on the stage 2, I can clear. I just gotta do it. Like, really, I just gotta not choke.
Well, I have to say it felt like a huge relief to get through stage 1. That stage 1 was a lot tougher than last tournament, and I think as we've seen so far, it's caused a lot of problems for even the best competitors. Yeah, so I feel pretty proud to have gone through it, and the 15th time, I think only the second course I've managed to rack up 15 stage 1 clears on is a pretty special moment for me. But stage 2 is again a tough cookie. I've failed it many times, probably too many times. Even though I'd like to get back to the circle twist, I failed it last time. There's a very good chance I could fail the obstacle before it with these planets. But this is honestly one of those stages where I think I could honestly do anything. I could fail on any obstacle, but I could also clear.
Yeah, stage 1 were really smooth for me. Survived in advance, right? And then here on stage 2, it's the difficulty definitely increases a lot, so you can make a mistake anywhere and it can cost you. But I give myself a decent chance to get through, but one time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, stage 1, I think this time was a bit harder, so I was happy to get over that, but I enjoyed it. And, I'm happy to be on Infinite, happy to be jumping, and we'll see what we can do here on stage 2.
Stage 1 was surprisingly alright. Stage 2, I can definitely beat as long as I can get past Uranus. It is the one thing I'm struggling with.
Feels good getting back here for my 9th time. Last time I beat this stage. Going into stage 2 this tournament, I think there is a solid chance I could get to stage 3 again. However, if there's one make or break obstacle, it's going to be this new obstacle, the planetarium. But there's every other obstacle on this stage could easily take me out as well. But see how it goes. Hopefully things will go my way again. We can get back to stage 3.
Stage 1, I'm glad it went well. You know, it was a little tough for this tournament, but I was still able to pull through. Stage 2 now, I did a last tournament, and I know I can do it again, but there is one jump, a little gatekeeper going on between Mars and Jupiter, and I am very nervous about that jump. If I can get that jump, I think I've got a really good chance of making it back to stage 3, but yeah, all the pressure is going to be on when it comes to the intergalactic jump.
Stage 1 went smooth as butter. Usually does. Just go fast, and I had a pretty decent time. 13 times on stage 2 was pretty crazy coming into it. Got an obstacle or two that I might be a little worried about. That planet thingy, the galaxy obstacle, whatever you want to call it. There's one jump in there, maybe two, that I've got to really dial down on, and hopefully I get all the momentum to get to it. After that, you know, I like to go fast, so I'm going to do some little shaky techniques, I would say. Maybe some of the other obstacles. So as long as I don't slip up, I can see myself clearing with a lot of time or making a simple mistake. We'll see what happens.
Let's get right down into it. 12 competitors left to take on stage 2. Kind of crazy we don't have Joey, Flame, Pedro, Matt. Some really good competitors. Failed stage 1 this time, but we still have 12 left. And Eternal Flame will be the first to take it on here. The first time he has been here to stage 2. He's got 215. He's taking on the beam flipper. Gotta make these corner jumps. Again, this obstacle not nearly as difficult as it was on Halo 5 with the movement in midair, but you still gotta move fast to give yourself a chance to beat this stage, and he's done pretty well there. 21 seconds to the first obstacle. He's on to the donut climb, and he's kind of gonna go side to side, it looks like. It's a little risky, but he is up in very fast time, 103, as he will now take on the planetarium. He's on the sun, and now going for Mercury, Venus. Got to jump up to Earth, and he is there. Now the drop down to Mars. Yep, and now this is the big jump. A lot of people were worried about it, but he makes the jump to Jupiter. Yeah, it should be apparent people were worried about it with almost everybody standing in front of this obstacle, so he's on Neptune, going to Pluto. Yep, Pluto still counts in my book, and Pluto is no match for Eternal Flame. He's got 75 seconds, really good pace onto the circle twist. Got a little paint job here for this tournament, but yeah, he's making his way smoothly across this, getting a few save jumps, and he gets on to the second circle. 62 seconds left. He's making his way around, moving good, but he overshoots the last peg of the second circle. And Eternal Flame is out on the circle twist. We saw this obstacle do a ton of damage last time, and it's already taken out its first victim of this tournament. But now we have Alpha Puma, number 31. He's here for the 4th time. I'm sure he's thrilled to not see the ball glider because he's failed it the last 2 times he's here. Tournament 4, though, he did get by it, got all the way to the supermarket. We know how Puma can get to stage 3 on other courses, so we'll see what Puma can do here. Playing the beam flipper, a little cautious, but that's fine. Again, it's a long time limit. You got room to... Oh, a bit of lag there. That was weird. You got room to make up time, but he has taken 26 seconds to beat the first obstacle, so he's going to have to pick it up here a little bit. But he's on to the donut climb. This obstacle did debut in Tournament 20, so he has never taken on this obstacle. But it's no match for Puma. He's up smoothly, and he's got 93 seconds jumping into the planetarium. First drop, no problems there. Jump up, good there. Now this drop, this is a small ball, so you need a good save jump here, but Captain Save Jump can make it. Now this pole whip jump, it's tough, but he gets it. Nicely done. And now the jump up to Saturn, also tough, but he makes that. And now Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, he's sending it all, and he is through. 65, he's a little bit down on time. Oh, no! I was about to say he's a little bit down on time in comparison to Eternal Flame, but he screwed up the jump from the first peg to the second peg on the first circle, and that is a tough way to go out. Still a good tournament for Puma. It's the second best run ever, but I'm sure he wanted a little bit more out of that. But now it's Sonic Fan 10193. Crazy that he has been to Stage 2 in 9 of his last 10 appearances. He has been on an absolute rampage, just a tear on Stage 1. But this Stage 2 has been a bit of a different story, so we'll see if he can continue from where he left off in Tournament 20 on this stage. First obstacle is no issues for him. 23 seconds through the beam flipper, not too shabby. And now he is on to the donut climb. Playing this one a little cautious. Turning around on each one, that's fine. Getting the maximum possible jumps. You don't want to screw up any of the jumps. If you screw up, it chews up a lot of time. But he is up top and now onto the planetarium. He's going quick here. Whoa, he almost overshot Venus there. That was a bit odd, but he gets up to Earth, drops down to Mars, gets a good save jump. And now running into the pole to get the whip, and he gets on to Jupiter. Up to Saturn now, and now the 3 downward ones to finish this obstacle. The planets get progressively smaller. I mean, they're basically balls. I mean, they're the same thing as the dancing stones. But he sticks Pluto and gets off at 64. He's even a second or two behind Puma to this point. He's going to have to keep it moving. He's still okay, but he is being very cautious on this. He almost overshot that 4th peg. But now he's on the 2nd circle. Making his way around, he's moving a lot more urgently through this. I think he's kind of gotten the message that he needs to keep it going. He gets a shot there jumping for the 3rd circle. He has failed that jump before, but he's made it today. And now he's at the end going for the dismount, and he is there, but 33 seconds. Sonic's got to go. He goes for the circle. Oh, no. He went for Pandora's Box. Said the wrong obstacle name again. But he tried to just stick it without a save jump to save maximum amount of time. I don't even know if that's possible, but either way, Sonic is out on the Pandora's Box the 2nd time in his career, and now we have Cobra. Cobra hunting revenge here on the donut climb. We heard him talk about it. It really frustrated him the way he went down last time. He wants to do better than that. But he's actually playing the beam flipper pretty safe here. We're used to seeing him do this obstacle pretty fast, but he's been pretty cautious. But he's through 25 seconds through that obstacle. It's a bit uncommon for Cobra. All right, this is the jump. He has done better than last time. That's good, but he wants to beat this obstacle. Cobra up to the 4th, up to the 5th. He is there, and he is onto the planetarium with 95 on the clock. Cobra getting a few save jumps there, dropping down. Now jumping up, and then this big drop down to Mars. Save jump. He is there. Now the big jump up to Jupiter. Yes. And now the jump to Saturn. Yep. That one is not nearly as severe, but it is still tough. And now these downward jumps. He's jumping down to Pluto now. He's going to stick Pluto and get off of that, but he is also at 64 seconds. He's a little bit down on time, but he cannot even mount the circle twist. Cobra out on stage 2 in another weird fashion. That is a bit unfortunate there. I mean, golly, to fail to mount onto the circle twist when there's no ball glider or anything before it, it's just a normal jump. He couldn't even do that. That's a shocker. But now it's time for Atlantic to go. He has a bit of a mixed record, to put it lightly, on this stage. Last time he did fail the circle twist. It was one of many. He's had his troubles with that obstacle. He's failed it 3 times in the past, but he has beaten stage 3 in this era. I'm sorry, he has beaten stage 2 in this era back in tournament 19, so he knows what he needs to do. Atlantic had a pretty good pace through the first obstacle. He's now taking on the donut climb, and up with no problems there. And now 101 seconds for Atlantic. He's going to go for the drop down to Venus, up to Earth. And now down to Mars, gets a good save jump. He jumped low there, but that's fine. Now getting that pole whip, he gets onto Jupiter, up to Saturn. He'll also pole whip up to Saturn, perfectly fine. And now he is speeding his way down these last 3. It looks like he has torched those last 3 balls, and look at the time in comparison to our last few competitors. He had about 78 at the end of that obstacle. He's at 71 now, and he's already done better than last time. Atlantic going for that 2nd circle. He's there. Atlantic moving pretty good. 61. As he's getting set up to go for the 3rd circle, he is there. Atlantic 55 seconds left, making his way around that last circle. He's on the last peg, gets a save jump there, going for the dismount, and he's across. Now it's Pandora's Box. You just watched Sonic fail here earlier. He gets a save jump, He's getting multiple save jumps. Took him a little bit of time to stick that one, but he is there. And now Atlantic is through. 37 seconds left for him. He takes a second. He gets himself set up for the super launch. He's failed this twice before. You can't take it lightly. Atlantic lands very short on it, but he lands on it nonetheless. 24 seconds left for Atlantic. He's on to the supermarket. 20 seconds left. He's around the second wall. He's looking pretty good here. Atlantic around the fourth wall with 15 seconds left. He is moving good. 3 walls, 10 seconds. He's coming to that 7th wall. He's getting hung up. Still got 5 seconds. Coming to the last wall. And oh no! Atlantic has run off. He has failed at the absolute finish line of this stage. He still had 3 seconds on the clock to jump up and hit the buzzer. He would have made it. And instead, Atlantic, just that one mistake on the 7th wall, I think he worried about the time a little bit. He comes uncrouched, he runs, and he just loses his footing in an absolute heartbreaker. Atlantic, just look here, he stands up, he runs, and he just barely slips off. I mean, so close, just fine margins. I mean, the buzzer is right there. Atlantic could have had a trip to stage 3, and instead it's going to have to wait for another day. But now it's number 42, Hunter Unit 751. See if he can get through this stage. He failed the circle twist like many last time. Drink every time I mention somebody failed the circle twist, I guess. He's currently on a pie record, 3 out of 14. We'll see if he can get his 4th stage 3 here today. He's taking on the beam flipper, moving pretty good here. And he will get through in about 20 seconds. Good pace through that first obstacle for Hunter. And oh, he almost walked into the hole in that second donut. That could have been bad. Oh, and he misses the jump to the 4th. That's going to cost him some time. That's unfortunate. Hunter now up to the 4th in the second attempt at it. Back up to the 5th. He lost a little bit of time. It's not terrible, though. He's not in complete panic mode. But he's still going to have to keep it moving as he is now on the planetarium, going for that drop down. Gets a good save jump. Now, this is the big jump. He doesn't get a whole lot of whip, but it doesn't matter. He gets a great save jump to land that jump, and he gets the jump up as well to Saturn. And now Uranus, he's save jumping on Neptune. We'll stick that one. Going for Pluto, he will stick that one as well. Going for the dismount, he's across 68. That's not bad. He's done better than a few of our competitors so far, but he's still got to keep it moving. He gets a really good jump. He's going for the Joey Davis skip pole technique, and he gets onto that second circle, and he walks off. Oh no, Hunter was trying to readjust himself, it looks like, and unfortunately he's fallen off the first peg of the second circle. He made the jump and was just trying to position himself to go for the next peg, and he just completely slipped off. But this takes us to number 43, Ump Double Ump. He beat this stage in Tournament 5, failed it last time, failed at Pandora's Box. So, Ump trying to get that return trip, long-awaited return trip, of course. Some of it self-imposed by him missing all those tournaments, but, you know, it's been a little over 2 years since Ump has been to Stage 3. He'd love to get back there, as Ump is now on to the donuts. And he missed the 4th. Whoa, he almost hit that support pole. That would have been a DQ, but he's still okay. He did not land out of bounds, so he's got 95 seconds. He's still fine. Both of our last 2 competitors missed that jump up to the 4th donut for whatever reason. But now he's jumping up to Earth, dropping down to Mars, gets a save jump, he's good. Now this big jump up to Jupiter. Whoa! Wow, he landed that the cleanest so far. He didn't need a save jump or anything. Really impressive for Ump, and he gets through in rapid speed. 73 seconds for the circle twist for Ump Double Ump. Now he's making his way around that first circle. Transition to the second. He's there. He does not pull a Hunter. He actually is able to adjust himself, get in position. And he's around the second circle, onto the 3rd. Of course, Ump did beat this obstacle last time. He's making his way around that last one. He's on that last peg, going for the dismount. He's across, 48. This is the obstacle that took him out. Ump gets a save jump. He sticks it perfectly fine, goes to the pole, and gets through. Ump with 39 seconds left. He's got the super launch. He is proud of his mongoose performance. Can he get the super launch? No! He bounces off the front of the platform and double ump. Can you believe it? The accomplished driver. He's beaten the suicide dive and obstacles like it on Spartan Warrior. He's not able to beat the super launch. He's the first person to beat this obstacle back in Tournament 5 when it debuted. And unfortunately today he just jumped a little early. He was that close to landing the platform. He just needed to go a little bit farther forward. And he would have had the time in hand for the supermarket. He probably would have been on to stage 3. Instead, he's going to have to just think about what could have been, at least in this tournament. As we now have at number 44, Patty Freakin. Talk about what could have been last tournament. A heartbreaker on the supermarket when he ran off. He totally could have pulled it off. However, we did see him make a lot of mistakes in the early parts of this stage. We'll see if he can clean that up a little bit, give himself an even better chance of beating the stage within the time. Patty used that left side there on the beam flipper, and he got through in a good pace. Now this obstacle, the donut climb, he screwed up a lot here last time, but he's taken his time. Of course, this obstacle has been shortened, and no mistakes today for Patty. 102 at the top of that obstacle, really good. But now it's the new planetarium. We saw a lot of people worried about it, but so far nobody has gone down here. As he will make the drop down, get a save jump, he is good. Now whipping into the pole, Patty makes it onto Jupiter, up to Saturn, and now these 3 drops. He's going to save jump there. And now for Pluto, he's going to save jump and then go for the next one. That was his strat there on the last 3. He's got 72 seconds left. He's going to use that left side again. Patty going forward, the second one, he's there. 65 on the clock. He's making his way around. So far, so good. No real hiccups there. A save jump there on that second circle, but now he's on the third. And now making his way around. Patty on to the end of the third circle. He is across 49 as he goes for Pandora's box. Patty Freakin. He gets a couple good save jumps. He's there. No! He slips off the ledge. Patty Freakin is down on Pandora's box. Oh, he beat it in the last tournament, but today he just unfortunately didn't get good enough footing to land that ledge. He did the right technique to try and get a couple save jumps to stick that ledge. It just looks like he might have crouched maybe a little late, didn't get himself fully locked into that ledge before he started moving forward, and unfortunately, Patty Freakin, another deep stage 2 that doesn't result in a stage 3. And believe it or not, we're actually down to just 4 competitors left, and nobody's gotten to the finish line yet. And the 4 left did beat this stage in the last tournament, but we will have no new faces on stage 3. But that said, I mean, this is a tough stage. Can any of our last 4 do it? Strafe, Helix, already underway here on the beam flipper. He's moving pretty good here, and he is through in 21 seconds. Strafe now onto the donut climb. Oh no, he also misses the jump to the 4th donut. He was moving good, but that is going to cost him some time. Strafe now up to the 5th, and he's through. 96 seconds left. Still not terrible, but again, could be costly down the line. Strafe down to the 3rd ball, going up to the 4th. Now dropping down to the 5th, and he is there. Now this big jump up, Strafe lands it. Nicely done. 75 seconds left. He's going to save jump on Uranus. I think he talked about Uranus, or Uranus is what he called it, what some of the Brits call it, as he gets through. 65 on the clock. He was worried about, I think he screwed up his planets, but that's a very Strafe thing to do. I think he was worried about the jump to Jupiter, but he got that. Anyway, Strafe is around the 1st circle, jumping to the 2nd. 53 on the clock. He's going to have to keep it moving here. Strafe is down on time a little bit. He gets another save jump. Each of those save jumps eat up some time. 44 as he's making his way around the 3rd. Strafe, on that last peg, he gets a save jump. 2nd save jump. It's chewing up time he doesn't have, frankly. But now he's going right side on Pandora's box. He sticks the ledge. Going for the pole. Going for the dismount. 27 seconds. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's going to have to go full speed racer. Strafe Helix going for the super launch. Just took out Ump a little bit ago. Oh my! He almost overshot, but he got an incredible save jump there to stick on the platform. But he's down to just 11 seconds left to beat this obstacle. He's still got 6 walls and 7 seconds. He's moving really fast here. He's around the 5th, but it's not going to be enough. Strafe Helix, he runs off the 7th wall, but he had already timed out before that. Strafe Helix is going to look back and think of two things: the screw up on the donut climb, as well as all those save jumps in the circle twist. Both of those errors have cost him all the time he needed to clear. And now suddenly we're down to 3 left. Is this possibly going to be a stage 2 wipe? This would be incredible after 6 people beat this stage in the last tournament. But we have Rog up now. Rog did beat this stage last time. He beat it for his first time. We'll see if he can do it again. As he's making his way down that left side of the beam flipper, moving fast. Really good pace through that, about 19 or 20 seconds. And now it's the donuts. We've seen some struggles on that jump to the 4th, but Rog made it no problems. 106 at the top of the donuts is very solid pace. But now Rog jumping his way down. And now up, dropping down to Mars. Rog getting a bit of pole whip, going for Jupiter. He's up. And now up to Saturn. It's crazy. All of our competitors are beating this obstacle and then failing elsewhere on the stage. And Rog gets a good save jump there on Pluto. He gets across 79. Really good pace to this point. He's moving well. Rog now moving his way around that right side of the circle twist on that first circle. He gets a save jump, sticks, goes to the transfer to the second circle. And Rog overshoots the second peg of the second circle. He's done exactly what Eternal Flame did. Oh my goodness, Rog, that is unfortunate. Well, now we have just 2 competitors left to try and get to stage 3. First them is Smokey Massacre. He beat this stage in the last tournament. We will see if he can do it here. Smokey taking on this beam flipper with pretty good speed. Gets across that second beam up to the 3rd. And nicely done on that first obstacle. Very solid pace of about 17 seconds. Now Smokey taking on the donuts. So far so good. Ooh, a little closer jumping for the 5th, but he's good. 106 at the top of that is a good pace. He's now on to the planetarium as he drops down for Venus up to Earth. So far he's good. Gets a good save jump there on Mars. Going for Jupiter. Gets a good save jump. Well done. A little closer, jumping up to Saturn as well. And now it looks like he's going to speed his way down. Nope, he's going to stop on Pluto. Perfectly fine. He has gone through that very quickly. About 80 seconds left as he is on to the circle twist. Smokey good through that first circle, jumping for the second. He is there. He is really moving efficiently here. This is very solid. Going now for that 3rd one. Whoa, bit of lag. He's able to hang in there and make it. Probably looked closer on our screens than it actually was, but he is across the 55 seconds left. Going for Pandora's box. Gets a save jump. Sticks the ledge. Now going for the pole and the dismount. 46 in the clock for Smokey. Climbing his way up to the super launch. Can Smokey find his way to the island? He jumps out and lands it. Slid pretty far forward, but he is okay. 32 seconds left. Smokey does have time in hand. He's just got to make it through this obstacle without pulling some crazy mistake here. But he is looking good. He's taking his time, being cautious here. Nothing wrong with that with time in hand. He's got 2 walls, 15 seconds on the clock. As he comes to the last wall, does not want to pull a chumpy. He will not. And Smokey will guarantee us a stage 3. 9.95 seconds left on the clock. It was looking pretty disastrous for a while. We saw 10 stage 2 fails in a row, but Smokey has proven that this stage is very doable if we put it all together. And he, for the first time in his career, will have back-to-back stage 3s. And that is very awesome to see. Well done by Smokey Massacre. He's got Patty there kind of chase him around. They will celebrate. But we still have 1 man left to go trying to join Smokey on stage 3. It is Fireball. Fireball has been on a roll on this stage. He has not failed stage 2 in this era, hoping to keep that going. And he's going faster across the beam flipper. Fireball gets the end of that last beam and through in 16 seconds, the fastest of anybody. And now he's onto the donuts. Climbing his way up. And no problems there. 109 at the top. Fireball moving with some urgency, but was worried about this planetarium. Again, it seems like everybody has been worried about it, but nobody's failed it yet. Fireball hoping to avoid being the first. He gets that big jump up to Jupiter and up to Saturn, and now these three coming down. Fireball speeding his way through, and he's across with 87 seconds left. Nobody failed the planetarium. That is a big surprise. But now he's going to do that Joey Davis skip technique. It looks like he is skipping poles, and look at the speed he's moving with. He is onto the third circle already and gets onto that last peg. Going for the dismount. He's got 67 seconds left. This is incredible pace. Fireball, can he stick that ledge? Yes. Going for the pole and the dismount. He's got a minute for the last two obstacles. This is unheard of in this era. But he's got the super launch first. Needs to focus here and nail this one. Fireball lands the island. Well done. 49 seconds left. This is incredible. Fireball with just an unbelievable performance. He just needs to avoid a costly error, and he's going to clear with an unbelievable time. Joey has the record at 28 seconds left on the stage, all the way back in Tournament 9. Fireball's not going to get that, it looks like, but it's still an unprecedented 26 seconds left. Only the second time we've seen above 20 seconds on this stage, too. And Fireball has beaten a very difficult stage 2. Just made it look like an absolute walk in the park. And Fireball will grab the fastest time on both stage 1 and stage 2. And he looks very strong heading into the third stage. And he will join Smokey there. But we did see 10 fails on this stage. 5 fails in the circle twist yet again. 2 on Pandora's Box, 1 on the super launch. And Supermarket took out Chumpy and Strafe. Well, following 6 people getting to stage 3 last time, just 2 today to take it on. 7 obstacles, all beginning with the discus throw. Make the 4 jumps up, and then the big drop down to the 5th, up to the 6th, and you get through that. Smokey hoping to avoid repeating his fail that he had on that in the past. And then the second obstacle is now the infinity rings, same as it was before, and then the new third obstacle, the hockey pucks. 6 pucks you got to jump your way across. Each one is slimmer. You have less room to land on each one. And yes, that does mean, in fact, the Precision Pyramid has finally been retired. It's had a good run, but it is gone after 21 tournaments. And then it's the Giga Cliffhanger, all the same, except for those corner wraps have been made slightly easier. The walls are a little bit farther away, so you have a little bit more room to get around each of the corners. But then, you have the 2 lateral jumps, the 2 upward jumps on that side, the big drop down, and that crazy jump is massive. You make that second corner wrap, you are through the 13 ledges of hell, but you still are a long way away from beating the stage, because you first have to get up the castle wall, the 8 pegs, and then it's the scrambled eggs. It took out Fireball last time, other than a little paint job, but nothing different about it. Jump your way through those 4 eggs, and then it's the swap winder. This obstacle has been nerfed slightly. The poles are slightly bigger, making it a little bit easier to get the distance around the poles, but the jumps themselves are all still the same. You make it on that final support pole, and then you make the big dismount, and if you land on that red platform, you will be going to the final stage and will have a chance to achieve total victory.
Yeah, stage 2, man. It was the interplanetary, not intergalactic jump between Mars and Jupiter that really was the defining moment for me. I knew that if I got that jump, I had a really good chance of beating the stage. I got the jump and I beat the stage, so I'm very happy to be back here on stage 3. I did relatively good for myself on stage 3 last tournament, but the goal is always to improve, and I'm hoping this tournament maybe I can get past the cliffhanger and see how I handle the back half of the stage.
Stage 2 went smooth as butter, just like stage 1 did. I said I was going to go fast, and I feel like I lived up to that. Went pretty darn quick. Got through the obstacles that I was worried about on stage 2. Coming into stage 3, it's a different story. I'm worried about the cliffhanger. I could fail the 2 corner jumps. I could fail the transfer. I feel like if I get past that first corner jump, it's going to be a 50-50 to get that transfer, and I don't usually see myself failing that 3rd corner jump for whatever reason. If I get through the cliffhanger, those last 2 obstacles, man, like, it's precision. I got to take my time with it. I'd love to get there, but if I don't, It is what it is. I just want to get to the cliffhanger and hopefully beat it.
Well, here we go. We will start with Smoky Massacre. He has a bit of a mixed bag on this stage 3. Of course, he did fail the discus throw back in tournament 16, but here he is in tournament 22. Coming off his cliffhanger fail last time, he lands that 5th discus up to the 6th, and Smoky threw the discus throw again. He's now on to the Infinity Rings. First time since tournament 5, the Precision Pyramid is not the second obstacle. It is this obstacle that, as the third obstacle, took out Rog in the last tournament. But Smoky handling it well. He beat this obstacle in the last tournament, and he is through it again. And now he'll be the first to take on the new hockey pucks. 6 circles that you gotta land on. Each of them are slightly smaller though than the last, so you have less room to land. Looks like he's trying to stick at each of these and go for the next one, which is perfectly fine. He's on that 5th one, going for the 6th. You don't have a ton of room, so he's gonna go right for the dismount. Well done. Looks like Smoky is having some shenanigans here with the sword. It's like Chris from tournament 18. A bit odd, but he is now on to the Giga Cliffhanger. He failed this obstacle twice before in tournaments 14 and 21. Smoky gets that big drop. That was the jump that took him out in tournament 14. And now it's the first corner. This jump has been a big separation point. Can Smoky get it? He did last time. It's been made easier. Smoky gets a save jump, and he lands that second face of the Giga Cliffhanger, doing some more shenanigans there, and he's definitely enjoying the moment. Now Smoky gets that second lateral jump, and now it's the 2 upward jumps. First one, fine. This is the jump that got him last time. Smoky gets it, and now the big drop. Smoky gets a save jump. He sticks the ledge, and now it's the crazy jump. It looks like he is facing the wall here. He's setting himself up. He's going to go for the Joey Davis technique. It worked for him last time, and it works for Smoky this time. And now just one corner, Smoky sticks the ledge, and Smoky Massacre, he has defeated the Giga Cliffhanger. He has joined Elite Company, and he is now just 3 obstacles away from the final. We've not seen Smoky get this far since all the way back in tournament 8. This is awesome to see. So now he's on the castle wall. He gets that big jump up to the 2nd. That is what he describes as the most important jump on that obstacle, because now you have a lot more room to save the rest of these jumps if you do make a mistake. As he jumps up to the 5th. Smoky looking good, taking his time, setting up each of these. Whoa, he almost made a mistake there. He almost went too far forward, kind of balked there. He's taking a second to recompose himself. This is very good veteran awareness, controlling yourself on a stage 3. And he's on to the 6th peg. Setting himself up, going for the 7th. He comes up short, but he gets a good save jump on the 5th. And now Smoky back to this jump. He gets up to the 6th. Oh my, whoa, I thought he lagged off, or I thought he walked off, but it was thankfully just lag. He gets a couple good save jumps there on that 7th peg. One more to go. He is up top, and Smoky now will take on the scrambled eggs. He's setting up, he goes for it, and he comes up short of the first one. He just jumped way too high, and he could not get the distance right. It's a great tournament for Smoky. It's the closest he's ever come to the final stage, but unfortunately, he jumped a little bit too high trying to get in that first egg and could not fit inside. That is a tough break for him, but still a phenomenal tournament, and hopefully we can see Smoky make a push for the final stage, maybe in the next tournament. But this brings us to the last man standing, Fireball ZXZ. Number 49. He's seen 49 other competitors go down. It's all down to him. Fireball did fail those scrambled eggs in the last tournament that we just saw Smoky failed. He did fail the jump from the first egg to the second egg, though, so we'll see how Fireball does here. First things first, the discus throw. You can never take it for granted. He lands that 5th one, up to the 6th, and Fireball is across. And now it's his time to take on the Infinity Rings. He's full sending this again. Oh, he stops on that 4th one. A bit different. But now he's going for the 5th and the 6th. And Fireball's across. And now it's the hockey pucks. This new obstacle. He jumps for the 2nd. He's going to stick that one as well. Looks like he's just trying to get a good save jump on each of these to stick each of the pucks. As he jumps for the 4th. Sticks that one no problem. Walking his way around, going for the 5th. He gets a good save jump, but he doesn't stick it. And Fireball is out on the new hockey pucks, and the tournament is over. What a shocking way for the tournament to end. Fireball showed really no concerns about this obstacle in his interview, but it has taken him out. He just wasn't able to stick this 5th puck. Again, it gets tougher as you go, and his technique that worked before on the first 4 pucks, it abandoned him here. He just didn't crouch early enough. He just crouched a little bit too late and was not able to get solid footing on that 5th puck. And that is truly disappointing. I know Fireball had a lot higher aspirations than going down at this point. It's the first time he's ever gotten to stage 3 and did not get to the cliffhanger. But it goes to show any obstacle, any jump on the stage 3 can take you down. And Fireball is down at the hands of the new hockey pucks to end the tournament. We saw a lot of success today, but we saw a lot of difficult results. 50 competitors came. We saw 12 beat stage 1, but we saw one of the toughest stage 2s we've ever seen with only 2 clears out of 12. And unfortunately, nobody was able to push their way to the final today. The question is, will somebody be able to get back in Tournament 23 and maybe even achieve total victory? We will find out here soon enough. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time on Irish Warrior.